Have you ever wondered what all this talk about sustainable development actually means? Well, let's unravel it together. Sustainable development is a globally recognized framework that aims to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It's an intricate dance between three main pillars: economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental protection. Economic growth doesn't just mean more money. It's about creating opportunities for all, while social inclusion ensures that no one is left behind, promoting equality and justice. And at the heart of it all lies environmental protection, safeguarding our planet for us and the generations to come. You see, the world is buzzing about sustainable development because it's our best shot at a future where everyone thrives without exhausting our planet's resources. It's an urgent global conversation, a roadmap to a balanced and inclusive growth. Sustainable development is not just a buzzword, it's an essential pathway we need to tread for the survival and progress of humanity. But how does sustainable development relate to another global concern? Climate change. Well, to begin with, these two are intimately related. You see, sustainable development is all about meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. However, climate change poses a significant threat to this objective. Climate change, characterized by rising global temperatures, erratic weather patterns, and increased frequency of extreme weather events, undermines the very foundations of sustainable development. For instance, it jeopardizes food security by affecting agricultural productivity. It threatens water resources, making it harder for people to access clean water. It also exacerbates social and economic inequalities, pushing the most vulnerable communities further into poverty. But it doesn't stop there. Climate change also impacts the natural world, disrupting ecosystems and threatening biodiversity. This, in turn, affects the services these ecosystems provide, such as pollination of crops, clean air, and natural disaster regulation, which are crucial for our survival and prosperity. So, it's clear that if we don't address climate change, our efforts towards sustainable development will be in vain. However, the relationship between these two is not just one way. Sustainable practices can also help mitigate the impacts of climate change. Sustainable development promotes the use of renewable energy sources like solar and wind, reducing our reliance on fossil fuels and thereby cutting down greenhouse gas emissions. It encourages efficient use of resources, which means less waste and less pressure on our planet. It also advocates for protecting and restoring our natural environments, which serve as vital carbon sinks, absorbing CO2 from the atmosphere. Moreover, sustainable development seeks to build resilient communities. By addressing social and economic inequalities, it helps equip societies to better adapt to the changing climate, reducing their vulnerability to climate-induced risks. So, while climate change threatens sustainable development, sustainable practices can help us fight back, reducing greenhouse gas emissions and building resilience. This is why we can't talk about sustainable development without addressing climate change. Clearly, sustainable development and climate change are two sides of the same coin, each influencing and being influenced by the other. Now you might be thinking, what's the big deal about climate change? Well, let's delve into that. Climate change isn't just about warmer summers or melting ice caps. It's about the radical transformation of our planet's natural systems, affecting every aspect of life as we know it. Consider weather patterns. They're becoming more unpredictable and extreme. Heat waves are more intense, storms are more violent, and droughts are more severe. This isn't just a hassle, it's a threat to lives and livelihoods. And then there's the rising sea levels. As polar ice melts, we're seeing an increase in global sea levels, which can lead to flooding and displacement of people living near coasts. Imagine the city you love slowly sinking beneath the waves. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? Let's also not forget biodiversity. Our planet's rich tapestry of life is under threat. As habitats change or disappear, species struggle to adapt. This can lead to a loss of biodiversity, which in turn affects ecosystems and the valuable services they provide, from pollination to water purification. These changes can have devastating effects, leading to natural disasters, food scarcity, and even conflicts over resources. It's a domino effect, where one change can set off a chain of events that ripple across the globe. The effects of climate change are far-reaching and potentially catastrophic, but there's hope if we act now. So what can you, as an individual, do to promote sustainable development and combat climate change? Let's break it down into a few simple yet powerful actions. Firstly, we must confront the issue of waste. The average person generates over 4 pounds of trash every day, and much of this ends up in landfills, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. By making conscious decisions to reduce, reuse, and recycle, we can significantly cut down on waste and lessen our carbon footprint. Next, let's consider energy. Did you know that just by turning off lights when not in use or unplugging electronics can conserve energy and lower your utility bills? Energy conservation is not just about saving money, it's about reducing demand for fossil fuels, and in turn, cutting down on emissions. And speaking of energy, let's talk about renewable sources. By supporting renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power, we can further push towards sustainable development. This can be as simple as choosing a green energy provider or installing solar panels on your home. Lastly, remember that our choices in what we buy also play a role. By choosing products from companies that prioritize sustainability, we are voting for the environment with our wallets. So there you have it. Reduce waste, conserve energy, support renewable energy, and make sustainable purchases. It's not just about the big corporations or the government, it's about each one of us making a difference. Remember, every little step counts. Your actions can make a difference. In conclusion, the path to sustainable development is a crucial one that we all must embark on. We have journeyed together through the concept of sustainable development, its significance in our world today, and how intrinsically it is linked to the pressing issue of climate change. We've highlighted the profound impact of climate change on our planet, the dire consequences if left unchecked, and the urgency of the situation. But we've also emphasized that there is hope. Hope that lies in the hands of each and every one of us. Our individual roles in sustainable development, as we've discussed, are paramount. If we all commit to making small changes, to living more sustainably, then together, we can make a significant difference. We can ensure a better, more sustainable world for future generations. So think about it. What steps will you take today to contribute to a sustainable tomorrow?